Hello, and welcome back to Starling Lane Studios. As per usual, I am your designated camera gremlin, Margo, and this week I'm going to take you through the process of making these bamboo spa socks that we sell over in the Emmanelle Designs shop. Please excuse me if I sound a little rough. I am coming off a very persistent cold, and my sinuses are still very much out for blood. Mom is not in any better shape than I am. It's been a rough week. As you saw, I do keep all of my bamboo fabric in plastic bags. Since it's for things like washcloths and facial rounds and these spa socks, and it's all white, I really want to keep it as clean as I can, which means in order to keep the dust off of it, I do store it in plastic. And sometimes when I unfold the fabric, I realize that it's really wrinkly, which is shocking, I know, given the incredibly careful way I stored it. And so I, take it into the workroom for a quick little press. Once it's pressed and folded how I want it to be folded in order to minimize fabric waste, I pin down the pattern pieces and cut out a pair. And since I was making this particular set of socks for an order that was actually a 3-pack, I have to cut out 2 more pairs. And, it's the same thing. You don't need 5 minutes of just me pinning and cutting. My fabric is not folded very neatly. In my defense, it was not particularly straight when it was cut off of the bolt. So folding it neatly is hard. Cut me some slack. I'll just iron it again the next time I use it. And now we take the socks over to the serger, where I will quite happily whiz through the back ankle seams and the heel seams, thanking every star in the universe that the serger is in a good mood today and doesn't seem to hate me. It's a good machine. It's a great machine. It just really does not like being threaded or adjusted or moved by anyone except for Mom. Once those seams are done, we go on a little adventure back to my own sewing machine, where I make sure the thread is correct and then pin and stitch the cuffs down. Once the cuff is stitched down, I go back to the serger to finish the top seam and the toe seam. I wish I could blame the shaky footage here on my hands just because it's turned into a running gag, but it's actually because my tripod was sitting on top of the table and the Bernina has a pretty powerful motor, so it kind of shook the whole table. It's just an IKEA table. It's not like massively sturdy. It's not going to fall apart, but it's not a mastercraft of woodworking there. Also, just as a little plug, a little aside here, these socks make really great stocking stuffers. I know it's October. I know it's not Christmas yet. I know it hasn't even been Halloween. Listen, you gotta start thinking about Christmas presents in like September these days, okay? These socks, because they're made of bamboo, they're super durable and they're really soft. Trust me. They're pretty fantastic. I have a prototype pair that I made back in like 2019 that are still chugging along, and I use them several times a week, every week. They're incredible. After finishing, I leave a little tail on each seam so I can weave them in for added security. A serge seam is unlikely to unravel, but I like doing this just to be safe because these are a thing that we sell. And now, for your entertainment, I present what feels like 5 minutes of me struggling to thread this serger tail of thread through the very large eye of my tapestry needle here. Huzzah! That only took like 10 years. Ugh, you'd think I'd be better at that considering I've been threading needles since I was like 5. Once all of those are done, I check each pair and flip them right side out before I roll them up for packaging, and that's it. If you liked this video, if you had a good time, please throw us a like and a comment, and perhaps click that handy little subscribe button too. We would appreciate the support. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok. Those links are in the description below, along with our Etsy shops. If you want to see what we sell, if you maybe want to get a pair of these bamboo socks for yourself or for a friend or a family member, coworker, I don't know who you would want to give these to. I told you they're great stocking stuffers, so do what you will. Please let us know if there's anything that you would like to see us do in a future video, and we'll see you next week. Bye!